Hello friends, good afternoon and welcome to EduSat Live Lectures. Dear friends, today in Sustainable Development Goals, we will be talking about Sustainable Urbanization. To discuss this topic, we have with us our subject expert, Professor R.B. Singh. Professor R.B. Singh is Professor in Department of Geography in Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. Professor Singh is also Vice President of International Geographical Union. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Sir to our studios and request him to start the lecture. Welcome, Sir.
Thank you, Amritji. Dear viewers, under Sustainable Development Goals, we have 17 goals identified by United Nations General Assembly. This was approved on 25th September 2015. Today, we are going to discuss goals related to sustainable urbanization. First, I would like to highlight about inclusive city and sustainable habitat. It is very important to understand what is urban sustainability. Sustainability as such broadly can be integrated with environment, economy, society and institutional aspects of urban areas. And so it is very important to ensure equitable sharing of benefit of urban growth within urban sustainability. It is very important to diversify policy for managing the spatial distribution of the population and internal migration together with balanced distribution of urban growth. It should be accurate, consistent and timely data, better urban data but better urban management. And so it is very important to know about global and national trends in urbanization and cities growth. It should be competent, responsive and accountable urban government. Management of city and urban expansion through appropriate use of ICT, information and communication technology, for more efficient service delivery. So this should be part of urban governance, better or urban governance, incorporating geographic information system, information and communication technology. It is very important to see also different dimension of sustainable habitat and people first. People is a very important focal point of sustainable habitat, and this is surrounded by, we have to study other component like lifestyles, community structure, local economic activity, other subsidiary activity, built environment, natural environment, and then finally global change also influences sustainable habitat. Through this diagram, I would like to put before you historical evolution of settlements in the world. And you can see earlier Indian subcontinent and then the Europe part, West Asia part was dominated by settlement. But now we have the more higher level of urban settlements in Asian region, Eastern Asia, South Asia, part of Europe and also in South America. And so that is why we have moved from European to Asian century of urbanization. Generally, 19th century is considered as a century of Europe. 20th century considered century of America. 21st century is a century of Asia, and more specifically, I would like to mention urban century, urban Asian century. Out of the total world's urban population of 3.4 billion in 2009, Asian urban share was 1.72 billion, almost 50%. In 2011, the world counted 23 megacities, with Asia having 13 of them. Number of such megacities is expected to rise to 37 by 2025, with Asia having 7 more megacities to its share. So you can understand from your own perception type of urbanization we are getting in Asian region. Now I would like to discuss about country-wise situation, and now through this diagram you can understand how India, China during the 2014 to 2050, you can see how India and China going to contribute in the world urbanization prospects, followed by Nigeria, Indonesia, all developing countries. So many developing countries are coming up. People are moving to the cities in search of employment, income generating activity, more specifically in developing region of Asia, Africa and Latin America. And here you can see through diagram I would like to put before you rank of Indian megacity among global megacity, particularly the top 10 megacities by population. You can see by 2014, Tokyo, Delhi, Shanghai, Mexico City, Mumbai, Sao Paulo. So in this, Delhi, out of 10 world megacities, Delhi places second, and then followed by Mumbai at 5th place. When you will come to, if you will see the projected population in various megacities, Delhi continues to be the second in 2030, and Mumbai position will be fourth. Then followed by Beijing, Dhaka, Karachi, Cairo, Lagos and Mexico City. What you are getting from this data, most of these cities are located in developing countries, developing regions. It is very important to see impact of globalization on these megacities. After 1990s, you can find in India also tremendous changes, impact on socio-economic and physical structure of Indian megacities. You can find high concentration of FDI, particularly these two countries, China and India, attracted 1,816 and 1,044 projects respectively in 2013. Level of megacities concentration differ. In Mumbai and Delhi captures almost 12 and 88% of the total new projects in India. Tokyo 53%, Karachi 21%, Malina 25%, Jakarta 35%. Higher contribution to GDP, that is 75% of North Korea GDP is from Seoul. So what you are getting here, that in the era of liberalization and economic development and globalization, these few mega cities and capital cities are attracting lot of investment, lot of FDI projects, and they are contributing very substantially to the economic development of that country. Fast growing mega cities have highest productivity in the country, and I would like to give you an example of like a Shanghai GDP per capita is 2.7 times larger than the China average. What are the important challenges before us for inclusive urbanization, particularly in Asia, and more specifically I would like to mention about the India. We are experiencing unplanned, haphazard, rapid urban growth. Particularly the big cities are attracting the more population. Million cities are attracting more people coming from the rural areas. Cost of housing increased very substantially. we are lacking resources. Particularly, I would like to mention about the housing shortage, water supply shortage of land shortage, concretization and associated microclimatic changes, occur in recent years. Slums and homelessness has become a very important part of our megacities. Traffic congestion continues to be the very important agenda before urban planners. Air pollution, monitoring system exists, but very little attempt done for linking integrated study of air pollution and health. Solid waste management, sanitation continues to be very important, and so that is why Government of India has taken a very substantial program, that is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Now you can see here through diagram proportion of urban population living in slums, and if you will see particularly the Southern Asia, this is the UN Habitat data of 2010, and if you will see in the Southern Asia, if you will compare between 1990 to 2010, still we have very high slum population. Sub-Saharan Africa, Southern Asia and Southeastern Asia. Three regions we have a very high concentration of slum population in city. Income inequalities, a threat to inclusive urban development, and most Asian megacities have Gini index below 0.45, which is considered as level of alert by UN Habitat. Most unequal cities are Bangkok and Hong Kong, 0.53, Delhi, Karachi and Dhaka, 0.37, Kolkata and Shanghai, 0.33, Manila, 0.4. So most of the developing countries we have the income inequality. If you will see this income increase, but really inequality exists in our country. You see the income 52, 53, if you see after inflation adjustment, rupees 274, but now we have 75,000, after inflation adjustment as per the economic survey of Finance Ministry. But big inequality exists in urban areas also, rural areas and big inequality. It is not only that you can say that the cities having the less urban population more equal and the city having the more population more inequality. We have a very, very complex nature of inequality in our cities. So, urban consumption pattern very low to South Asia. Still you can see even China's situation is better than us. North America, you see but Southern Asia, we have very less, these 9 groups of urban consumers will generate nearly 75% of the global urban consumption growth during the 2015 to 30. Through this map, it is possible also to know the direction of consumption, and the age particularly, which age we have the more. As you know, India has a more young age population, it is so the focus should be given on this young age. Making Indian megacities inclusive and resilient, I would like to put before you here a model. This model includes science, understanding natural, human, environmental disaster risk reduction. Then on the other hand, we have to see the community needs, economic activity, and you can see all sustainability research should develop an integrated understanding between above 3 linkages. Urban development and Indian megacities, if you will examine in Indian context, we have growing urbanization, industrialization and metropolitan development. Moving to the city for high income, employment, improved services, access to various amenities, lack of housing facility. Urban population of India is 377 million, which is more than 10% of the world and 21% of Asia. And so that is why we have unprecedented pressure on environmental environmental quality, bringing out pressure on sustainability. So, this dimension should be focused in coming years for tackling, challenges of urban sustainability in Indian cities. See, you can see the trend of urbanization. Western side, we have a very high urbanized, but still northern side and eastern side, we have less urbanized states. And this can be also linked with industrialization. All industrial states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Delhi and surrounding, West Bengal, these are the more urbanized states. And we have many mega cities and large part of India without any mega cities, you can see. States like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, we have the less mega cities. So, we do not have the equal, distribution of urban growth in our country. But certainly, all three models, urban growth models, can be applicable in Indian situation. First, you can find the growth of Indian city through the Burgess model of concentrative zones. Planned cities based on the sectoral theory, many sectors are coming in many parts of Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, or newly developed urbanized city. Even the sector related development will take place in many smart cities, future smart city of our country. Most recent development based on multinuclear theory also, where due to the institution, due to the industry, due to airports, many settlements are coming up. Now you can see this growth in case of Delhi. Delhi is a very highly urbanized state. I would like to take examples from Delhi, Kolkata and Mumbai. And you can see the many urban sprawl, very substantial urban sprawl took place in northern side and southern side and western side, very less in the eastern side of our country due to the natural, aspects like a Yamuna river passing through, eastern side. Land use, land cover change is a very important aspects of, sustainable development. You can see this, how in Delhi, kinds of area, forest area and water bodies have shrunk. Concrete land is increasing due to the development of built up areas. Conversion of land use, land cover to concrete, asphalt and other impervious surfaces, and so we have a lot of impact on urban hydrology of the region. It is very important to examine central part of the city, generally very popularly known as CBD, Central Business District, homogeneous part, particularly where people live, settled area, circulatory part becoming very, very prominent because of the transport development and transport induced pollution, because around 70% of pollutants coming from transport sector. Then special parts, like existence of thermal power plants, existence of some particular industries, they are bringing lot of impact on surrounding environment. No doubt green belt is coming up, massive plantation has taken place on the old landfill sites, low-lying area also. Secondary cities are also coming, particularly the satellite towns. In future, direction of our Indian mega cities lies in these satellite towns. How we can develop these secondary cities so that in order to decentralize economic activity to peripheral area, it is very important for us. And so we can also reduce the greenhouse gas. Now you can see our situation is almost the 4th position in the world about the greenhouse gas emitter. Out of 10 greenhouse gases, our situation and place is 4th one. Sector wise, if you see carbon emission, and this is a very important threat of urban sustainability. You can see even in residential area, because of the traditional means of domestic fuel, commercial area we have also industrial, transportation, waste and other, So 33% we have coming from the industry, around 28% from the waste. Waste very 28% from the residential area. As you know, circulatory part is very, very important, transport network, and if you will see continuously, we have increase of vehicular population growth in Delhi 1990 to 2000. You can see this how in 71 we had a very small number of vehicles, now we have so large number of vehicles came. This is also due to the lack of public transport system. Very recently we have introduced metro rail, and this is a very important development. All megacities require such provision. I would like to put here a case of Seoul. Seoul has not less than our population of Delhi or even Tokyo, but they do not have much problem because of effective public transport system in the form of metro rail, because most of the people they prefer to travel by rail, but we do not have better public transport system. Not all localities are linked, so that is why people are still using their own vehicles and buses and other means of transport. Now you can see, I would like to take here one example of Pink City of Jaipur. Roads get congested due to increased number of vehicles. Jaipur is considered as a old planned city of India. New planned, Chandigarh is a new planned city, old planned city, but you see what is the situation. But they are also developing some new areas. I will bring some case study later. And so we have tremendous impact in the form of air pollution. And air pollution can be linked very closely with human health. So, human health and well-being constitute a very, very important aspects of urban sustainability. Now you can see this annual means level of SO2 mostly increased, no doubt. We have some improvement due to the use of CNG. We have constructed flyovers, many flyovers we have constructed. So we have some improvement. Massive afforestation has also taken place, but still SPM, PM, these are increasing at a very rapid rate. Annual mean level of NO2, if you see, indicate an increasing trend. Region, massive rise in vehicular traffic. Annual mean level of SPM and RSPM also suggest the upward trends due to increasing pollution load. If you compare the last few years data, we have some improvement particularly in the SO2, because we have used the CNG for all commercial vehicles. We have removed all during 90s the polluting industries from core areas to peripheral area. Flyover is another important step taken by the government, construction of flyover, because due to construction of flyover we have less concentration of pollutants at traffic nodes, different traffic nodes of Delhi. But NO2 is still some RSPM, SPM, so we have to focus on this. And if you will see this data coming about the PM10 particulate concentration, micrograms per cubic meter, annual mean, if you will see, our few cities are, this data I am using from World Health Organization. because health is a very important. And I would like to mention here that recently highest scientific body, International Council of Science, they constitute a very important, they started a project, it is known as Health and Well-being in Changing Urban Environment, a system approach. So they are trying to link the system approach. Under system approach, how we can look industrial aspects, transport or traffic mode, we can see the thermal power plants, all different in an integrated way. Now you can see here the Gwalior situation, Allahabad, Raipur, these are the most polluted city in the world, not only within India but in the world. And so that is why we have emergence of urban heat islands, and we have to give focus on urban heat island and surface temperature. Urban heat islands means where we have the increase of temperature in comparison to the surrounding area. This is largely due to the vegetation. Now we did some study for Delhi, and you can find through this diagram. I would like to put before you how eastern side and central side we have more concentration of urban heat islands. One can see a very close relationship between urban heat islands and land use. Municipal solid waste generation is a very big problem, and you can see in the all city, and you can see this, the water requirement is a very, very important. We have a tremendous change of people are using insecticide, pesticide in nearby agricultural areas, and through a post monsoon period you can find a lot of changes in the quality of water in Yamuna water during the post monsoon period. And we did some analysis of water quality index, and you can see this, the how water quality index increased substantially when Yamuna passing through after Delhi. When enter Delhi, it is a better, more cleaner, but when go out Delhi, because of the through the different drainage, sewerage, lot of domestic hospital waste are coming to this city, and so we have to link with health. Now I would like to put before you how this mortality rates from respiratory diseases. Children 507 in 2006 to 812 in 2010. Increase in the old and middle age group is a more mortality. Most vulnerable age group is above 70 years of age. And so we have also the impact on respiratory organs, various order of respiratory illness and deaths. This data I am putting before you is more coming from the different dispensaries, and also we talk to the people, and the lower respiratory trends diseases reduced to nearly half, but upper respiratory diseases 9 in 2006 to 499 in 2010. Other diseases, respiratory system, largest contributor of respiratory induced mortality. Notably, all the time period, males are much vulnerable than female because they are outside, they are working. I would like to conclude that the large and medium sized metro city, mega cities are an outcome of haphazard urbanization, which have their own sphere of influence. Intensive and unplanned anthropogenic activity in mega cities are largely responsible of environmental change, urban heat islands, and more specifically I would like to mention about climate change. Balanced regional growth is essential to reduce overall in-migration from rural to urban area. Carbon resilience measures can play an effective role in mitigating climate change by adopting afforestation, non-conventional energy, and promoting green buildings and neighborhood. Thank you. Welcome viewers. I would like to elaborate sustainable development goals, particularly focusing on sustainable urbanization. Particularly, I would like to highlight sustainable urban development. Even sustainable urban development was mentioned during Rio Summit and Agenda 21. Component of urban sustainable development can be examined looking urban people, and in this context end poverty and hunger in all form and ensure dignity and equality, very important. Prosperity, ensure prosperous and fulfilling lives of harmonious with nature. Place, more equal development, fostering peaceful, just and inclusive society. Partnership, particularly implement the agenda through solid and global partnership, solid global and even local partnership. And planet, protecting our planet, natural resources and climate for future generation. For that, I would like to put before you a model of inclusive and sustainable urban innovation. First, we have to look economy, and economic growth should be supplemented with equal development in cities and urban areas. Energy continues to be the very important agenda. Carbon resilience through the promotion of energy efficiency and renewable energy should become an integral part of our whole urban life support system. Environment, preservation of land, urban land, water, air and biodiversity, and promoting 6 R's through land use zoning. And ultimately, we have to take care of interest of community, through participatory governance, and strengthening the urban local institutions. And ultimately, this will all contribute towards urban system innovation. I would like to go to the history of regional balanced urban and regional growth. After partition and independence, Government of India felt a need for planned development in Delhi, and I would like to mention here one example taking from Delhi. In 1956, Town Planning Organization prepared interim general plan for Greater Delhi with consideration of planned decentralization to outer areas and outside the Delhi region. In 1962, Master Plan was introduced, 1962, for prospective year 1982, and it was also recognized the need for planning of Delhi in regional context. Decentralized urbanization can be examined in the form of satellite towns, counter magnets of million plus cities. Concept is a very important step to develop surrounding areas. Development of satellite cities around 53 million plus cities. This will be very helpful in achieving greater efficiency and overall hierarchy of settlements, human settlements, at both regional and national level. And so that is why in this way we can contribute towards sustainable habitat. Satellite towns may be developed in the future development area of million plus city as delineated in the city region plan. The township may be planned for a prospective population of half to 1 million. This township may fall within the urban agglomeration of metropolitan city, or if not, should have certain regional significance. Decentralized urbanization, NCR planning, keeping migrants away from the capital by creating economic activity in surrounding area. And so that is why you can find the many counter magnets were created like Bareilly, Hisar, Kota, Patiala, Gwalior, outside the NCR with a view to further strengthening the policy, decentralization of economic activity and population were encouraged. And here I would like to mention also recently Hisar and Bharatpur are included also under the National Capital Region planning. This is the map constitute area of NCR 2021, but under this Hisar or Bharatpur again included, which is not included in here. It is very important to examine urban sustainability, various programs of urban sustainability, and I would like to mention the Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission. This program generally was to meet the challenges of growing urbanization and to enable Indian city to develop to the level of global standard. A comprehensive program, namely JNNURM, was launched in December 2005, providing urban amenity to rural area. Particularly, this was initiated and actually highlighted by our ex-president. Holistic and accelerated development of compact area around a potential growth center in a gram panchayat or a group of gram panchayat. So that is why village clusters have become a very, very important unit of development. Big panchayats or a group of few panchayats can be clustered together and with superimposing the agroclimatic zone, such type of the planning can play a very important role. Urban infrastructure development scheme for small and medium towns, particularly for improving infrastructure facility and help and creating the durable public asset and quality oriented services in city and town, enhance public-private partnership, promoting planned integrated development of towns and city. In between, National Urban Information System, a GIS approach was also introduced. Ministry of Urban Development, this launch, particularly in 137 towns, city in the country, and they have selected two type of scales for mapping, one equal to 10,000 and one equal to 20,000. Apart from that, utility mapping on one equal to 1,000 scale also was undertaken in 24 towns. Apart from urban spatial information system component, the scheme has another component like National Urban Data Bank and indicators. The spatial and attribute databases were generated. Particularly such databases will be very, very useful for master plans of the city or even for the regional plan. Urban air pollution is a very key element after the Paris Climate Agreement. If you see this, the Paris Climate Agreement, reduce poverty, eliminating air pollution, improve people's health and strengthening economy. And two, at least you can see here, the poverty is also linked with the air pollution. And air pollution is also linked with the people's health. So that is why health and well-being is very important component of urban sustainability. And in this way, we can strengthen economy. Many megacities sectors under climate change, if you will see many initiatives taken, and these initiatives are the following, particularly various type of sectors were identified like the forestry, many Smriti Ban in memory of great leaders, many landfill sites were taken up for the plantation, replantation. You can find the plantation along big roads. Many big houses are coming up for contributing towards that. Green buildings are coming up, particularly the water harvesting, rooftop water harvesting is introduced. The groundwater recharge aspect is very, very important. Lighting energy efficiency is very important. And many type of the new devices are introduced, and even people are using for their domestic purposes. But what is very important for decentralizing these different devices, and more subsidy also should be provided, so that more and more weaker section of society should utilize such facility and we should move towards the direction of urban development which can be considered as inclusive urban development. Transportation, particularly the green transportation, the waste management, the water management is very, very important. We have the various sources of water, like in case of Delhi you can see this Yamuna, then the rainwater. We also get water from different other states. So integrated water management is a very important aspect of this, the whole sustainable city. No doubt we have to improve our national air quality monitoring program. No doubt Central Pollution Control Board execute a nationwide program. All cities should have this air quality monitoring, national air quality monitoring program to determine the status and trends of ambient air quality, to ascertain the compliance of national ambient air quality standards, to identify non-attainment of city, to understand the natural process of cleaning in the atmosphere, and to undertake preventive and corrective measures. The present national network includes 424 manual monitoring stations across 175 city, towns and industrial areas, and 48 continuous monitoring stations, 24/7, in 28 cities, including 16 metros. Many carbon resilience measures are coming up. Particularly here I would like to mention about the green building and green neighborhoods. The Energy Conservation Building Code of Bureau of Energy Efficiency needs to be incorporated into the building plans of local bodies. But this should be supplemented by very strong energy efficiency measures. CFL bulbs, adaptation of energy conservation habit, reducing waste of energy, that should become very, very discontinuation of the waste of energy is very important for contributing towards urban sustainability. Solar energy, in this context we are blessed, India is blessed with so vast and huge solar resources, very important natural resource, solar resources. Very few countries of the world having the such important resource. But it is very important that more and more people should adopt these solar heater for cooking purposes, for many hotels, hostels, they use such devices in order to reduce our dependence on commercial energy sectors. Looking at the situation of increasing carbon dioxide emission from various sectors and resultant climate change, megacity needs to adopt alternative sources of energy, and solar of course is a very, very important, very most viable in South Asian country. In case of Delhi you can find that every month we have a vast scope for use of the sunshine, 6 to 7 hours per day one can get for many days, annual mean, if you will see. And so the daily average value of global and diffuse solar radiation in Delhi is comparison of other very vast, and people are adopting, people are moving towards that. What we need more and more storage facility, more and more subsidy facility, so that people should move for this. No doubt on afforestation front, I would like to take example of Delhi. We have substantial improvement, lot of 18-20%, I will not like to use the word vegetation, forest, but I would like to use the word vegetation cover. we have very substantial improvement of vegetation cover in. This could be done by, can be improved by series of measures which include more effective greening of existing greens, opening of new city forest, and intensifying the green over the ridge areas. Apart from that, we have the green mode of transport, particularly the reduce of transport pollution load from the transport sectors. Government had decided to introduce e-rickshaw, CNG buses, battery operated vehicles. These are some of the important measures, CNG devices, and so that is why this can play a very mass rapid transport system can play a very, very important role in this contest. So green mode of transport, and of course construction of flyover can be considered as a very, very important aspects. The metro system, more and more lines and linkages should be increased. Here I would like to put before you some of the important step: high capacity bus system, e-rickshaw, the metro systems. Not only in Delhi but many other mega cities are going for that. And then you can see this, the changing forest and tree cover in Delhi gradually increased due to the initiative taken by the many different agencies and very important institutional measures taken. But here I would like to what I would like to mention that this should be linked with the traditional herbs for health in urban areas. So herbal home remedies, this should be the very important aspects, and here I would like to mention some of the important step taken here, and government, they are using this. During the International Yoga Day, lot of demonstration taken place regarding the yoga, but what I would like to propose here, that Indian medicine should be linked with this also. We have Siddha system, we have the Unani system, we have Ayurveda system, and the homeopath system. Many such plants, medicinal plants, can be grown on degraded areas, and this can be possible only when we will have a effective participatory governance in city. After 74th and 75th amendment, particularly when decentralizing the power to the local bodies, more and more political representation given to the different cross section of society in our municipal bodies, in our corporations, and bhagidari, the partnership scheme, should be promoted on a very massive scale, decentralized scale. This should be disseminated in all colonies, all different resident welfare society association. Resident welfare association should be involved in this process. Aggregating local initiative to national level for a greater effectiveness, and particularly here I would like to mention about the waste management. Is many initiative in Chennai, if you see many colonies, such partnership develop, joint community collection of waste, then recycling, resource recovery from such type of the waste. What we need for maximizing the resource recovery from the waste or from the pollution. Local to local initiative with international network behind them. Here I would like to mention about the Sulabh International, particularly for sanitation and health, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. construction of toilets. We have a very substantial improvement on construction of toilets after the introduction of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan by our Honorable PM. Homeless International, working with National Slum Dwellers Federation, many such schemes are operating. Here I would like to mention also about the another very important initiative which is very prevalent in European country, American country, land use planning. This is also part of our master plan. But we have a very frequently, a spill over from one use to another use. What we need, effective land use planning based on environmental zoning, and a spill over from one zone to another zone should be avoided. No way this can be allowed. You can see this here. I would like to mention this, the Trans Yamuna area, the one locality, and here I would like to mention that is a very weak geological structure. When you are constructing the multi-story houses, I think earthquake resistance measures are needed. So, disaster management, a disaster resilience building should be promoted here, particularly in the Trans Yamuna area. Many colonies of Delhi, like Chandni Chowk area, Karol Bagh area, so congested. Even the fire brigade, vehicles cannot enter in that area. In such situation, it is very important to have better road facility. It is very important now to rehabilitate few people from such region to the another region, providing the all facility, but at least create a better circulatory network, better transport facility, some safe shelter area. Like you see, commercial zone, Karol Bagh and adjacent area, it's very important, where we have to take the such many old buildings are there, where retrofitting needed. Some beam through pillar, it is possible to create a better, earthquake resilient buildings. And so that is why here I would like to mention that we have to move from traditional centralized to community based management of future urban sustainability. We have to move from the traditional master plan approach to the effective land use planning based on environmental zoning. This zoning should incorporate vulnerability reduction approach, vulnerability to resilience approach, community based urban management practices, and then we can move and achieve sustainable urban development approach. Now I would like to here mention that one very important area, sustainable urban development in the Pink City. I have mentioned you earlier how congested the old part of the city, but here you can see the new part. We have the more wide roads. Many earthquake resilience measures are taken. Many buildings are having also the water harvesting system, whatever the little rainfall they get. So the green building and green neighborhood also here also we have to introduce. We have not, it is possible to introduce the green building and green neighborhood in a more effective way. And so that is why for urban sustainability, for disaster risk reduction, here I would like to mention, because after the Sendai framework, March 2015, India is also signed that very important initiative, Sendai framework of disaster risk reduction. So collecting and compiling geospatial data, satellite information and local knowledge is very important, particularly in case of many water harvesting ponds, Bauri system in the Rajasthan area. Activating an early warning system network and its close monitoring. And particularly here I would like to mention the local early warning system. Community-based early warning system is very important. A strengthening communication link with generally collapse in the event of a rapid onset disaster, along with public awareness generation, integrating the scientific, technological, administrative and community agency, vulnerability assessment of critical infrastructure like power supply, communication network, water supply network, transport, particularly during the disaster events, focusing on more and more preparedness, more and more mitigation. Challenging areas continue to be the modeling. We have not done much on modeling. So modeling aspects should be highlighted in a more, particularly the risk prediction. Not much, scientific work has been done. Integrated assessment is a need of the hour. Integrated assessment incorporating biophysical aspects and the human aspects. Some of the simulation exercises, scenarios building can be done in this context. I would like to give you here the first level of seismic hazard microgenation, but what we need, we have to incorporate here many awareness related factors, education related factor, economic related factor, building a structure. These all should be superimposed in such type of the map. Like in flood prone areas, according to the impact, influence, I think it is where we have the more high sensitive area, where low sensitive areas, because we have many problems, but we have limitation of resources. Under urban sustainability, we have to prioritize the problem. Prioritizing the such type of the activity. You see, for that we have taken a lesson from the past flood. Can give some example. Here I would like to mention another very important aspect. Art as a tool of heritage renewal and inclusive urban planning. Art has the ability to connect, amplify the attachment of people to cultural heritage by enhancing the visibility of existing culture, tradition and monuments. In every region we have a typical art, typical local, traditional system. Such way, even a small city should have a museum. Once I was visiting Japan and I found even in villages they have the rural museum, but even our city do not have, a smaller city do not have museum. Their artistic intervention through galleries, museum and auction, is very important. There exist many forms of art in the form of dance, song, drama, painting, exhibition. This can be considered as a awareness tool, and this can encourage the sense of belongingness in the existing cultural site through the promoting of the conservation and preservation. Urban planners can consider heritage renewal through this art. Mapping existing sites of art improve the accessibility, thus improving the promotion of heritage. A special provision is also needed to preserve heritage during disaster. You see, last scheme, here I would like to mention about the 7 smart city, and already the few smart cities are just 2 days before our Prime Minister mentioned that our cities are having capacity to absorb poverty. Probably he was referring about the slums. Through art, through the various initiative, income generating activity, by incorporating these phenomena into this our smart city under sustainable transport, sustainable sanitation, sustainable all aspects. I would like to mention the physical infrastructure. It is possible to move towards the sustainable, even smartness. Promote resilience. This should be linked with Digital India, Make in India, 10 smart city development. Corporate social responsibility fund also should be linked with this. Gender equality cannot be ignored. Many cities are not considered safe for women and also not work friendly. I think this aspect for peaceful development, it is very important. And so urban governance include this gender equality, empower public-private partnership, intersectoral aspect, health and policy. Finally, I would like to conclude that it is very important to imperative for focus on air pollution, urban heat island and human health through a spatial modeling. Carbon resilience measures are needed. Storm water management is very, very important. The building inclusive sustainable urban community, following community is a need of our through public-private partnership. Thank you very much.
On that note, I would like to thank sir for this very enriching discussion, and thank you dear friends for watching our show. Stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you.